All right, so in today's video, I want to go over 8 uncommon or odd prepping supplies or prepping items that you might not have thought of. Now, this isn't the prepping staples, those lists that we all see all the time about what everyone needs in their bug out bags or items you forgot or stuff like that. This is just some really cool stuff I found. Some of these you're probably going to like, some of them you may not like, some of them you might think, yeah, but, a little bit expensive. But nonetheless, they're all pretty cool. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the video today. All right, so like I said, this isn't a list of the prepping supplies you must have or the prepping supplies you forgot or what to put in your bug out bag. We see those lists all over the place, and sometimes with those lists, we can't help but click, right? Half of our brain's saying, don't do it. You know exactly what's on this list, and the other half of your brain's going, yeah, but what if? Then we click on them and we kind of use it as a checklist of, okay, got that. Okay, got that. This is a little bit different. What I wanted to do is find some truly unique items that maybe we've heard about, maybe we haven't. Some of them you'll probably agree with. Some of them you'll probably won't agree with. It really is dependent on your situation, but they're all pretty cool. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the list of 8 items that I found. And if you've got anything that I didn't put in here that you think about that's unique or a prepping supply that doesn't get talked about a lot, leave it in the comments below. So the first one I've got here is mini bikes, and this is kind of 3 separate things: mini bikes and motorized bikes and stuff. But mini bikes are pretty cool because of the flexibility they give you. They're pretty EMP proof. You can load them in the back of your truck. Really portable, and they're just kind of fun to have around the house. They're fairly affordable when you think about the other options, especially when you think about something like this motoped, which is about $3,500, pretty expensive. But this is basically a survival bike, right? It goes about 24 miles an hour. It's got a lot of storage space. It's got room for a couple gas cans on there. A lot of cool stuff. I couldn't see myself spending $3,500 on something like this that I wouldn't use a whole lot. But at the same time, if somebody were to give me one, heck yeah, I'd take it. Another option with this is getting a kit for your bike, putting a motor on your mountain bike or whatever. This is a pretty reasonable as far as cost goes as well, and something that that you could kind of justify a little bit better than one of those $3,500 bikes, or even a mini bike that may just sit in your garage. But a bike you could load up on the back of your truck the same way you could load a mini bike up or whatever. And if stuff was going on, some sort of SHTF situation, you had to abandon your vehicle, you've got that extra option right there. So just a pretty cool one that some of us have probably heard about, some of us haven't. But a mini bike is one of those kind of cool ideas. All right, so another one I've got here, and I can see quite a few different uses for this, is a drone. And we've got, I recently purchased the Mavic Mini, and it's a really cool drone. I can see it being used for surveillance, where you don't have to physically go out or send a group of people out. I can see it, in some sort of natural disaster or something where you're surveilling the damage of the area around you, or say it's a wildfire or something and you want to get a bird's eye view of something. You can get pretty high up there and kind of check out your surroundings. In a camping situation, maybe the same type of situation where you're looking at what what's going on around you, where the nearest water source is or something like that. Just a lot of cool uses for a drone. You can also get some that are outfitted with night vision, a lot of different things. I would say, though, with these drones, don't go the cheap route. You don't have to go the super expensive route. I mean, they range anywhere from $100 to, a few $1,000s. This Mavic Mini was a few $100, and it's way better than the little $100, $150 drones. This is my 3rd one. I've had 2 of those that just absolutely didn't work. You couldn't control them. They didn't stabilize in the air. And this Mavic Mini, I'm going to do a review on this one here in the future. Pretty cool drone for the price, and it's right below that threshold where you have to actually get licensed. So kind of cool there as well. But drones, I can see a lot of, sometimes they creep me out a little bit. I don't like the drones. If I see a drone flying around my house from my neighbor's house or whatever in some sort of SHTF situation, probably getting shot down. But I can see how they would be beneficial for preppers to have, especially when you're, you want to surveil your neighborhood or check out damage that happened in a natural disaster or something like that. So I can see drones being super useful for preppers. Another one I've got here is backyard ponds. And this one is, we're always looking for unique ideas for water storage. And this one may be for some people, maybe not for other people. But I've got a backyard pond that holds about 60, 70 gallons. And it's just another source to be able to hold water. Backyard ponds are, it's kind of the same thing as rain catchment, except for with rain catchment, it's a little bit prettier, I suppose. It looks more natural in your yard. You can make these as big or small as you want, depending on your situation. Some people don't have the space to do these at all, but this one, I put together. It didn't take too much effort. They're pretty simple to do, a few $100, and it just gives you've got to maintain that water so it doesn't turn into a mosquito trap, but it just gives you that extra water storage option. And something that, just kind of looks cool in your yard as well. So backyard ponds are kind of a neat idea. Like I said, maybe for some people, and maybe it's not for others. The next one I've got on my list here is a solar tent. And I know some people, and myself included, going, okay, why can't I just get a solar panel and a tent and a battery charger and I'm all good? This is kind of neat. It's a bit futuristic, but it's kind of cool because it's all in one. Maybe not this exact version, but I think there may be some coming out in the future, or hopefully there is, where they're a little bit more compact, where those solar panels fold up. I do like the fact you get that 360-degree type of view with those solar panels over the top. You don't have to move the tent and move the solar panels and all that stuff, and it's all in one. It's one set. So if there was something out there that was compact, like this, like maybe those solar panels folded up, it would be a pretty cool idea. But nonetheless, something to watch out for in the near future, I think, some sort of options like these. The next one I've got here is USB rechargeable batteries. And this isn't, one of those fantastic, ooh, that would be cool type of things. This is more practical, I suppose. In some sort, and this depends on your situation as well, but some of these may be good to put in your bug out bags for flashlights, for ham radios, prepper comms, and stuff like that. It would be a whole lot easier to charge one of these and take up a whole lot less space than having, a bunch of rechargeable batteries and then the battery charger, and you've got to hook it up to the solar panel and all of that stuff, where you could just basically hook this into the solar panel, recharge one or two of these batteries, and you'd be good to go. So just something that it's kind of simple, low cost, but it's something that absolutely could be beneficial. I'm going to, I don't have any of these, but I am going to test a couple of these out, do a video review on them and see, what the capacity is. From what I've been reading on Amazon, they hold a little bit more, or about the same as a AA, AAA battery. So pretty comparable, but I'm not sure about how many charging cycles and what the actual stats are rather than what they say on the website. But these are pretty cool nonetheless. All right, so the next one I've got here is the Ebulb. And from this website, Ebulb, these are a little bit expensive, but there's actually a few different options available for these. But what these are is basically a light bulb that recharges itself, so it's emergency power. If the power were to go out, these light bulbs will turn back on and use their internal battery. Also, they come with a little adapter where if you want to use these as a flashlight, you can. So you take them out of the light socket, you put that little adapter on the end, and it basically becomes a flashlight. Kind of cool because that way, in some sort of power outage, you're not looking through different drawers or stumbling around in the dark trying to find your flashlight. You've got the light on right there, and you just put that little adapter on, and you can hang it anywhere, basically. So very cool. Like I said, there are a bunch of different options on Amazon as well, that some of them are lower cost. I'm going to review some of these here in the near future, but they just seem like a really cool item to me. One of those, prepping supplies that could be absolutely beneficial. in any sort of disaster type situation. So the Ebulb battery powered flashlight, whatever you want to call them, are pretty cool. All right, and then one that I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with, electric cars. And this is one that I'm on the fence with as well. I'm not giving up my gas guzzler, but electric cars, I can see the benefits in some situations. Now, you'd have to be able to recharge these cars, but I could see if they could save you money over the next year, 2 years or so. That saves you money where you can invest your into your other prepping supplies rather than fuel. With fuel prices going up and being so volatile, you just never know. And with the cost of these cars, with the technology advancements and all that, the cost of the batteries coming down, I could see how these could save you money. In a bug out situation, maybe it takes you less gas to get to your bug out location, so that could be good. If you do have that generator that you can charge that battery, maybe that would be good as well. The downside I see with all of this is that once you do run out of juice, if you don't have a way to recharge that, or say you do have a way to recharge it, but it's going to take you a couple days, that's the downside I see of that. But it means less fuel storage. There's a lot of benefits to this. Less maintenance as well, oil changes and stuff like that for not straight electric cars. I'm talking about hybrids here, where they are fuel and electric, not straight electric. But hybrids, I could see being beneficial in preparedness. And this is another one of those things where, as the technology advances, you get the tax credits and all of that stuff. I could see these being really beneficial in a preparedness type situation. So electric cars are just something to think about. Like I said, I'm not giving up my gas guzzler. I love my truck, but at the same time, Tesla's making a truck that's coming out, an electric truck, and I mean, who knows where all this technology goes, but it's something we need to just kind of keep on our radar, and one of those what-if type situations. And then the final one I've got here is something that was developed by DARPA that's used in the military, is the Pack Mule. One of these would just be cool. They don't have a civilian model right now, and I think even the military doesn't use these much because they're so loud. But I can see the technology advancing. Hopefully we get to the point where it advances that much, but if the technology advances enough to where this becomes some sort of product for the civilian sector, that I think would be pretty cool. A smaller version that maybe carries 50, 100, 150 pounds, something like that. Something that's maybe the size of a dog rather than the size of a buffalo or whatever. But I could just see something like that would be pretty cool. And I know they do have one that's a civilian version that basically rolls behind you. It's like a backpack on wheels. I don't know about all that because that's just waiting for somebody to steal it. But in a bug out situation, just around the property, I think something like this would be pretty neat. And I could see something like this happening in the near future. Again, we've got to get to that point. But I think this would be pretty cool. So that's my list of 8 things that are kind of odd, kind of unusual that you don't think about with preparedness, but could absolutely be beneficial in different situations depending on your circumstances. There are a few on here that I had that I didn't put on here. Waterproof socks and collapsible water bottles and stuff too. That stuff could be beneficial. Just didn't make this list. But if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Or if you have anything to add to what I was talking about here, leave it in the comment below. But with that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we will talk to you everyone later.